Well, hello. How do you do, friends? We have another product today. It is a GPS drone. Well, it is actually a quadcopter called a GPS drone. There's an app for it that you can get on Google Play and the App Store that interacts with it. On the box itself, it says it has an HD camera, a GPS return, follow me mode, circle fly, gestures selfie, waypoints, one-button takeoff and landing, and auto hover. And this is the model HK55. A lot of cool features in here. So usually these things come with, they come with a case as a first thing. There we go. It's smooth, it's average, doesn't feel too flimsy, feels okay. And they also come with some extra propeller guards, and they come with a controller, like a little handheld controller that's like a little video game controller. So opening it up, ta-da, this is what we first get. Kind of warped paperwork here. All right, we'll put that aside for now. We also get our controller with some foam thingies covering the joysticks. All right, and then we get what seems to be our battery. I think this is our only battery, unless the other one is, inside the drone itself. So we have storage space just for like one battery, and then our other battery we get stuck directly into the drone. So I'm gonna take off this extra foam here and throw that out or whatever. And I'm gonna actually have to take the time to charge these. Wacky, I know, right? So it looks like, yes, we do have USB-C. I always like it when my new tech has USB-C instead of micro USB, because that means it charges faster, it transmits more, etc., etc. And then in here should also be, I know I skipped over the drone, just give me a second. Also here we have our wires, our charger, everything USB-C, and we have the extra propellers in here too. I might as well open this up and show you. So the extra propellers are for if you smash into a wall, like it's very likely, I occasionally do, and accidentally break a propeller. And these are just like the extra ones that you can put on if you need to. And they have the extra screws, there's the screwdriver in there, and then we also have extra propellers here. So we just have a whole lot of extra propellers, and it doesn't seem we have any edge guards. So here's the drone itself, and obviously it doesn't come with any edge guards. I'll just show you the size for now. Here's the drone itself. Not too big, but around the size of one of my hands. And the arms will flip open like this. You get a nice click, 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 a nice snap. It doesn't feel too cheap. It's not too hefty. Ooh, what do we have here? We have what looks to be a stabilized camera module. Like if you can tell, when I press it, boing, boing, boing. So for mid-flight, and there's a little jittery vibrations, this will kind of dampen it a little bit. That's interesting, good to see, good to see. We can see that extra mechanism up top. And we have here what seems to be an HD camera. It says it's 2K. I have had experiences with other drones in this price range, and the cameras have not been amazing. It also seems that there's a slight bit of scuff damage on the drone itself, and we just got it out of the box, but there's already a tiny bit of damage on the body there, and the camera itself has like a little strange nick there. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know why that would be. Maybe it's just part of the manufacturing process, but like, yeah, we also have some scuff marks on the side there, difficult to see, but I'm not too worried about that. The landing gear are just solid pieces. It's hefty enough. The batteries will give it, obviously, the more heft. These are like, oh, which is heavier? I can't really tell. Anyway, I'm gonna go plug these in and charge them, and then maybe we'll get more of an in-depth look at how this controller works. It looks kind of like you would put your phone in there. You attach the phone in between these two. That'll accommodate pretty much any phone I can think of. Although it does look like as well, it won't accommodate any thickness because there are these stops here, so it won't go any thicker than that, which is a little bit disappointing because, like, what if you have a battery pack on, or what if you just have a really, really thick phone? But otherwise, you know, that'll accommodate pretty much any phone. So I'm gonna take these off of the little joysticks here. These are interesting looking joysticks as well. They have like little grippers. I mean, your fingers won't slip off of these, but they're like spiky. You see those spikes? Interesting. And they're not like wide round ones like I'm used to. I'm not really sure I like these. I prefer the wider, flatter ones like the Xbox style controller. And the grip itself is like, it's not awful. It's just it just feels a bit chunky, and obviously this one, thankfully, is also USB-C chargeable, so it does seem that there's a rechargeable battery in here. I love to hear that. A lot of the time they'll use AAA batteries, and I don't like buying extra AAA batteries. Also, based on these buttons, yeah, it looks like that takes a picture or takes some video. That is like the wayfinder to go back to where it took off. And these two buttons are to lift or to put down the camera, so you can adjust the camera mid-flight, always good to see. And then we have the on button here, and I'm not exactly sure what... No one saw that. I'm not sure what this button does, but I think it's like an automatic takeoff or landing. All right, I'm gonna put that aside for now, and I'm gonna admire this admittedly kind of interesting, cool-looking drone for a bit with its wobbly little camera while I go charge both of these batteries up at the same time, just so I have enough. I don't know exactly how long this is supposed to last in midair, but it's always good to have an extra battery for backup. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I've returned and I put my battery into the drone itself. It just slides in with a click, click, and there's a power button on there, which I have so conveniently used to turn on the drone itself. Now, one thing I forgot, and which is extremely important, is to take off this little plastic thing on the camera. It's really nice, watch this. Yeah, all right. Okay, another thing I've also done, which is also important, is download the app and connect it to the drone itself so that I can actually see what the drone is looking at. Now, I have it on my phone here, so don't be too tripped out. There's my ring light, and there's me. Whoa. Whoa. The camera quality it's okay. It's actually better than I thought it would be. Looking at it, like, I'm seeing a lot of reds. I'm not looking too hot on the drone camera here. I much prefer a more natural selfie. Oh gosh, look at that. All right. So, setting the drone on the side for a second, the phone will just fit into the controller here. Just barely doesn't fit. Always a great thing to hear when you're talking about these kinds of things. Okay, wait, can we slide it in this way? Oh gosh, I really feel like this might not. Maybe if I took the case off, but I don't want to bother, and this is a good showcase of some of the things that might come up when you're trying to work with this. This is not a huge phone, and it really doesn't fit, so if you have a case on your phone, it might just not work with the controller. Which is not great. I much prefer to have the style of controller where there's the little flip up part and that extends, so it's holding onto the phone widthwise, or it's holding on like that instead of like this side to side, because that has a much more, it really has a much more difficult time holding onto it. But the camera quality looks good. There's a lot of options on here, including pressing the button to take off and to naturally find where it's looking to go. Wait, if I press this button here, do you think it would slide to take off, it says. Will it start? It's blinking. I really don't want to mess with it too much. All right, but here's the home of the app itself. It looks pretty typical. This app is made pretty much just for this drone by itself. There's a lot of different options that I'm not really going to mess with right now. And if you wanted to look at more of the options, you'd check out the slightly wrinkled manual, which I'm always reticent to do, is look at paperwork. But it's pretty clear in here. A lot of big boy pictures for simpletons like myself. Always good to hear. Now, for the controller, I think this should just work with the controller by itself. But let me turn this back off and then back on again. And then let's see what we can do. I'm going to mess with this a little bit and see if we can't get this working easily. So according to the instructions here, which again, I was reticent to read, but I do find myself reading all of the time, I do have to calibrate it. So now it is just sitting on the floor while it calibrates. I had to turn it this way and turn it that way, and it says I need to do that each time I turn this on. I'm not loving it. So I'm just waiting for it to beep, and then I have to move the joysticks hither and thither, and hopefully it works by then, so I'll be right back. All right, so here's an interesting tidbit. The way this drone works is that it needs to connect with a global positioning satellite, which is GPS, right, in order to connect to the remote. I am indoors. It doesn't want to connect indoors. That's currently where I'm doing my filming. How am I supposed to connect to it? If I can, I'll try to get outside and let it connect. But the fact that this does not connect at all, and it'll just sit here for hours and hours, blinking this green light while it tries to connect to this remote, which, by the way, I have other drones that'll just connect directly to the remote, and I can fly it indoors no problem. But the fact is, I sat this outside for a little bit, thinking I could get it to connect to the satellite. And the light turned green, solid green, so it was connected. Then I brought it back inside, and it instantly started beeping again. It needs to be outside, have a direct line of sight of that GPS in order to function at all. I don't love that. If I'm misunderstanding this, then that's something else. But from my experience, this will not start working unless it's outside, that light is green, and I've done all the calibrations each time I turn it on, which again is very frustrating and was not necessary for the other ones. I only needed to calibrate it once, and if it was miscalibrated, I could just recalibrate it. This one you need to recalibrate it each time, and it won't work unless it's outside and it's connected. So I can't really say too much at this point then, because I haven't been able to fly it, but from the looks of it, it'll fly pretty well. And I do like that it has the camera, right? And that I can move it. Like, I could press this button and the camera moves. Check this out. Camera's going up, camera going down, camera going up. So while you're flying it, you can change the angle of the camera itself. That's awesome. I like that. You can have it look straight down while it's hovering in place, or you can angle it forward if you're flying it forward, or you can use it as a selfie camera. I don't know. That wasn't exactly great from the quality of the camera there. And my phone didn't even fit in here because it was like a side-to-side opening thing that only goes this wide, and I can't actually fit my phone in there. So overall, a little bit disappointed. I would rather it function a little bit differently so that I could access it better. If I can, I'll try to fly it outside and get a shot of it. But there's like 2 inches, 3 inches of snow outside right now, and it is freezing. So I'll see what I can do. But otherwise, I like the look of the drone. I like that it's got feet. Feet are great. It doesn't have bumpers. I would rather it have like at least some cheap little bumpers that like snapped on something. The camera is pretty cool. It's like stabilized, all that stuff. I like that it's USB-C and that the power button's on here. Don't love the remote. Yeah, those are my thoughts. If I can get some flying video of it, I will. Otherwise, that's all I can do. So let me know what you think. I'll see y'all next time.